It is homecoming in Woodland Hills at El Camino Real High School at El Camino Real Field. It's also the West Valley League opener for Elko and the Cavaliers of Cleveland. Hello, everybody. My name is Randy Rosenblum, set to call the play-by-play, along with big game Jake Downey. This should be fun. Could be high scoring. Two offenses, Jake, that can move the football.
Well, man, where would you rather be on a Friday night? There's a crisp in the air. People are wearing a second layer. It's starting to be football weather. And we're finally getting out of the silly season of the preseason and getting into league games. And this is what matters to get to the playoffs. And to your question, yeah, both of these teams can sling the ball and get up and down the field. So as you and I discussed, this is likely to be an offensive showcase.
Let's talk about Nano Lopez, number 5, the Cleveland quarterback. He hits 54% of his passes, but it's not just his passing, it's his leadership.
Yeah, well, every team needs a guy who can really get other guys motivated, and that's who Nano is on this squad. And this guy is a baseball player, so he's a two-sport guy. We're here in the cradle of city baseball here in the West Valley. And Nano has a big arm and is up near the top of the city rankings, and so we figured to see a big game from this guy.
For the Royals, it's always about number 7, Ryan Feinberg, the lefty, outstanding quarterback, one of the leaders in passing yardage in the entire LA City section, better than 1,000 yards throwing the ball this year.
Yeah, he's a dual threat. He's second in city passing yards right now. He was first for a while. He's a guy who has a lot of speed, who can find his way out of trouble. Will sometimes just figure out a way to make things happen when a play looks like it's dead and you end up with positive yards. That's the kind of quarterback you need if you want to win games.
Both teams have been pointing for this one. Again, it is the West Valley League opener. Both teams have aspirations of winning a league championship. We'll come back and have the kickoff for the Cavaliers and the Royals. That's next on El Camino Real Football on LA36. Nice crowd on hand for homecoming here in Woodland Hills, and we're just about set for the kickoff of this game. Rodriguez has it teed up, and ECR is going to get the football first, and we'll get to see that potent offense with quarterback Ryan Feinberg and company.
All these moments before the kickoff, you think all week about I get to play football on Friday night, and finally it's here. You got the butterflies when you're in class trying to listen to your teacher, but yeah, I get to play football tonight. And right now, we have kickoff.
Forget the non-league schedule. It's all about the West Valley League play, and we are now underway in conference action and a short kick. Jefferson with a nice return and good field position for ECR. That's Dominic Jefferson, a sophomore, who's also going to be a high jumper on the track team.
Well, Jefferson playing on both sides of the ball as a defensive back and a receiver.
Quarterback is Ryan Feinberg. I love Troy Spellman, number 3. He is sensational. There's the key players. Dover, the big-time target, has 4 touchdowns. Bueno is also very talented. First down, Royals. Spellman looking to throw it, and he's thrown down. So the trick play is halted by Corey Hall, a veteran player for the Cavs.
Hall is a unique hybrid. He plays wide receiver on offense, defensive end on defense, and you saw him bust up that trickeration. El Camino trying to make something happen on the first play from scrimmage.
And now they're behind the chains.
Well, a taller order now for Feinberg as he stands in the gun.
2nd and 20. Dover. He's tough in space. Got back about 8. It'll be 3rd down and a dozen.
So far, Cleveland benefiting from a big loss on first down. Can maybe play a little bit loose and off the ball here as Feinberg needs to pick up a big chunk on 3rd down.
Emotionally, what a victory early on for Corey Hall in Cleveland.
Yeah, if you can get off the field after 3 plays in a game like this where you really don't know what you have, and Cleveland has got to be celebrating that, but they got some work to do here.
3rd and long for ECR. To the sideline, incomplete. He wanted Spellman and missed him, and it's 3 and out. And the Cleveland defense does its job.
Well, Feinberg had a little heat in the pocket, put a little bit too much mustard on that hot dog, and it just was past the outstretched hands of Spellman. And, you know, they had a first down if they could complete that there, but now ECR has to punt from their own end.
Chavez Borelli, the senior, will punt it away.
That'll bring up 4th and 12 for ECR.
Well, an optimistic start for the visitors from Reseda. The Land will get the ball for the first time tonight. Again, they're 2-1. They're coming off a resounding victory over Hollywood, 53-0. Excellent punt. Fair catch, and Cleveland will have it for the first time tonight. Stephen Roberts, number 10, hauled it in.
Roberts had a little bit of trouble with that one. That almost hit his shoulder pads, which could have been disaster for Cleveland. And he'll stay on the field and set up in the Cavaliers offense.
Yeah, he's an excellent wide receiver. He's caught a touchdown this year. He's a senior. Ultimate leader according to the coaching staff.
Well, you know, your team needs you to catch those balls, and he did, and Cleveland comes out with their first offensive play.
They begin from the 36-yard line. Cleveland in the white, Elko in the blue. First look at number 5, Nano Lopez, junior quarterback. Taking to the air immediately. Corey Hall again. We saw his presence defensively, makes the catch offensively, and Caden Sikowski brought him down.
So 4 plays into the game, we've called Hall's name twice. First, he comes up with a big stop for loss on defense as he's playing defensive end, and then he turns it around on offense and picks up 5 on first down.
Yeah, he's a playmaker, as is number 10, Roberts. Number 21, Cerrito in the slot. Aiden Cerrito has great hands. Baseball player. In fact, a lot of these Cleveland players are baseball performers. 2nd down and 5. Some movement by the Cavaliers. It was on the outside. Turibe moved prematurely.
Well, that's tough because you give back the gains you got on first down, and now you're looking at 2nd and 10.
Mentioned that Cleveland is 2-1. Beat Canoga Park, which is a very good win, 21-7, and slaughtered Hollywood 53-0. They lost early to Palisades, who's ranked 4th in the LA City section. Currently, they lost to the Dolphins 39-0 on the road. There's Craig Becker, our lead official, who happens to be the softball coach at Chatsworth. In fact, he won a championship at Granada Hills as their head coach against Chatsworth many years ago in a game we had on LA36. 2nd and 10. Lopez rolling out. Incomplete. Again, Hall was in the area, and it's 3rd and long.
Well, you mentioned Becker, the referee, Craig Becker, and I was just going to say that it takes men and women committed to youth sports and high school sports in Southern California to make the world go round.
Well, these players make the team go round. You've already seen Corey Hall's presence. Messiah Jordan's an outstanding running back. Donovan Powell will alternate with him, and Gabe Juarez is great tight end and physical on defense as well.
Yeah, let's see if they can get it to Juarez, a big guy, big target.
3rd and long. What are we looking for here? You would think that Lopez would go up top.
Yeah, he's just finding himself right now. On first down, he had that swing pass to just kind of get in the groove of things and put a bit too much on the pass downfield on 2nd down.
The delay up the middle. And Powell bouncing outside. And he has a first down. Terrific run by Donovan Powell, who averages 7 yards a carry. He got a lot more that time. He got his squad a first down.
That was a big-time pickup for Powell to keep his guys on the field, not have to kick it away. And each of these things are building blocks for Cleveland, building confidence.
That would surprise the Elko defense. They were looking on 3rd and 10 for the pass, and the draw really baffled the defense. Good field position for the Cavaliers out to the 49-yard line. Scoreless. 8:05 left opening quarter. West Valley League opener. Again, they'll stay on the ground. And running room for Jordan. Messiah Jordan, hauled down by Luke Peffer.
Well, a good name and a good run. Picking up 6-7 yards on first down, just what Cleveland needs. And a little bit more balance to the attack. We kind of expected Cleveland to throw the ball, and they keep it on the ground, and they're picking up positive yards.
Messiah did a great job there breaking the tackle of Derbeshian and motoring downfield for 8 yards.
Number 8, Robin Bueno on that tackle.
It's a good-looking drive mounting for Cleveland. Again, it's the leadership. Everybody on the team loves Emiliano, Nano, they call him, Lopez. Trips to the right. He's throwing back to the left. That's a good catch. Not going very far as Toribe. That was well defended.
Well, nice grab by Toribe. He wears those gloves for a reason. And again, this is all about easing Nano into the offense, into finding his touch. We talked a little bit earlier in the game about thinking all week that you're going to play a football game. Then you get out here on Friday night and you're full of jitters, full of nerves. It may take about 4 or 5 passes to kind of get your touch and to settle into a groove.
Well, it's 3rd down and 1.5 yards to go. One would think Donovan Powell time, number 6, an outstanding running back.
And you also
has a great upside. He's a young player.
You got to think this is 4-down territory too.
You really do. And it is Powell, and he's rocked. The ball comes out. That was some hit. Robin Bueno, number 8, just lowered the boom on Powell. It's going to stay with Cleveland, but it's a loss of 1. Let's take a look at this collision.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see if the ground caused the fumble. I know we don't have replay in high school football, but no, it looks like the ball came out after he hit the ground.
But a terrific defensive play by Bueno, who's a two-way player for ECR. 4th down, it looks like they're going to punt the football. Does this surprise you a little bit?
It does, especially given where we are in the real estate at the other team's 43. This might be a place to take a pop on 4th down.
Troy Spellman is waiting to return the punt.
Maybe that big stop on 3rd down discouraged them.
Spellman, who's got good hands, will just watch this one bounce. And Kangaroo inside the 5-yard line. What a kick. And it's down to the 3.
Well,
so it'll be a very long field.
If you can get a bounce like that, then punting on 4th and 2 at the other team's 43 is maybe not such a bad idea.
Well, Cleveland's specialty team comes up big. So we expected a lot of offense, and early on it's defense.
Yeah, I think both teams are still just kind of feeling each other out. And, you spend all week pounding on each other, and then suddenly you get to hit somebody in a different colored uniform, and it's for real instead of for practice.
Now, ECR is 0-5, but you can throw that out. They've been playing terrific teams: Cathedral, Pasadena, Harvard Wesley, Calabasas, and top-ranked Banning in the city section. Now that it's league play, they feel like they have a great chance as Spellman darts to the outside. It'll be 2nd and long.
Well, not much doing there for El Camino on 1st down. And Cleveland on defense may be sensing an opportunity to pin back the home team here. But it does take somebody shooting a gap and making a play.
I would think Elko is encouraged by the way their defense played in that first series, even though they gave up some real estate. They made a big play, came from Bueno. And of course, the Achilles heel early on in the year is El Camino's defense. Their offense has been sharp most of the time. 2nd down and 9. But they're backed up. Spellman again coming right at you near side. Cannot turn the corner. That's terrific defense. And give Cleveland's defense a lot of credit. Running to the football was Matt Swanson, a veteran player, and he had assistance from Gabe Juarez, who we were talking about earlier, that tight end defensive lineman who's so good.
Well, they picked up about 5 yards there. Tough sledding for El Camino down in the shadow of their own goal post.
They're still looking for their first down of this first quarter. Randy Rosenbaum with big game. Jake Downey, West Valley League opener for host El Camino and Cleveland. See if Feinberg goes back up top. Confident senior signal caller. And he will look to throw. Got his man. Jumping up and making the grab is Dover, who is a tremendous talent. Cameron Dover. Young man has caught 4 touchdowns this year.
Cameron Dover.
And that's a catch they had to have. That's a senior leader who knew he had to climb the ladder and go get that one in traffic and take a hit on the way down, and he did it, and he moves the chains.
El Camino has their first down. Craig Becker has a flag. We'll check it out. He'll give us the indication. That one really hurts.
Wow. Well, so all that hard work, yeah. So Feinberg on the money here. Dover goes and gets it, and he's the only receiver that could have gotten that at 6'4", and he climbs the ladder, but it's all for naught. So
We're going to have to do it again, 3rd and long.
Well, these are the early tests that set the tone of the game.
Feinberg in his end zone. They need 9 yards. They run it. And Cleveland again is going to get the defensive stop as they bring Spellman to the ground.
Well, I have to think that was just to get him a little more breathing room to punt.
Fairly conservative call. But again, expect to be a close game, and they're confident that the offense will get it going. Jason Zabala feels like his team is poised and ready to go. He said we're a powder keg waiting to explode.
Well, and we spent the pregame talking about offense, and so far we've been seeing some defensive stalwarts here.
Stephen Roberts back at the 47-yard line. Another good kick, another fair catch, and that's where he takes it in between the 47 and 48.
And Cleveland's in business again on the other side of the 50, setting up shop with their second drive of the ballgame.
He had the feeling that he wanted to return that. Roberts was shaking his head. He wanted to go, but he thought better of it.
A lot of times if you have a line drive kick, it means the coverage isn't getting to you the same way it would if it was a rainbow of a kick. So, yeah, sometimes a return man has buyer's remorse.
47-yard line is where it is spotted for this talented Cleveland team. Coached by Peter Gunny. They went 4-0 in the spring. Gunny's done a terrific job with this club. And he's very close friends with Jason Zabala, El Camino's head mentor. Powell is taken down by the face gear, and that's an obvious flag. He was wrestled down, and that one had to hurt.
Yeah, that does not feel good. Getting grabbed that way is something you feel in the morning. You wake up with a sore neck.
That'll give Cleveland a first down.
Well, they have that call for safety. You want to discourage that kind of tackling. Sometimes it's unavoidable when you're a defender and you're just reaching for whatever you can grab. And so Cleveland's in business with the ball at the ECR 35, and let's take a look at it. Around end, and oh man, down in a hurry, and the flag comes in pretty quickly. That's a no-doubter. Donovan Powell gets his head turned all the way around.
Yeah, that was Robin Bueno, same young man that made the terrific play on defense on the previous series of downs. Powell trying to get outside to the perimeter. Terrific job defensively. Spellman was over there, but he was not alone. So the defense is riled up, and they're running to the football. Jake Shirley was also there, a sophomore.
Powell's a speedy back. If he can get around end, he can pick up some chunks, but there were a lot of blue shirts there.
He lost a yard. It's second down and 11. Number 9, right there. He's a new member to the team, a transfer from Silmar, Ariel Guerrero, and they really like him.
Yeah, El Camino is going to be materially better as we move forward with the addition of Mr. Guerrero and a couple of his cohorts who've transferred in, and they're now eligible to play. We'll point them out as the game progresses, but ECR is a different team than they have been starting this week.
Lopez in the shotgun as the first quarter winds down. A little bit confused offensively. You see Peter Gunner's come out and he's going to talk to his quarterback. Peter Gunny's mom, Carolyn Gunny, we talked about Craig Becker in softball, the referee. Carolyn Gunny was a fabulous coach for many years in the city section, Granada Hills, and is now the not only just the mom of Peter Gunny, she's in the city section Hall of Fame, which is inducting a number of individuals this Sunday. So Carolyn Gunny got into that hall back in 2011.
I know you can't say this about yourself, but I'll say it for you. I had the pleasure of seeing you get inducted into that very same Hall of Fame. And it was a great pleasure to see you so honored. And I would just say more broadly about the City Section Hall of Fame. It's a beautiful concept to honor the men and women who've made their contributions to the City Section sports. I played City Section sports. I've covered City Section sports for a long time. And it's nice to see those people get their due.
Yeah, Carolyn Gunny, great lady. Her son is doing very good work at Cleveland. Ironically, he's so similar to Jason Zabalik. We said they're good friends. They're both 41 years of age. They played against each other in high school. And they're both saying, hey, this is going to be a good ball game tonight. So far, they've been right. As we said early on, this one could be a shootout. Right now, it's a defensive struggle after one quarter.
We still got a little bit of business in the first frame, but not by much.
Yep, just the final 19 seconds. Second down and 11. Lopez taking to the air. That one's up for grabs and incomplete. Intended for Roberts. Terrific coverage from Luke Peffer.
Yeah, Roberts may have a beef there, but no flag thrown. And well, Cleveland took their first big downfield shot of the evening.
Luke Peffer
ECR broke it up.
Very interesting young man. He's been injured this year. He's shown me his leg before the game. He's cleaned it up. He's bruised and battered. He's also a guy that's grown 7 inches in the last year. He's 6'3", says he's going to grow to 6'5".
So Lopez throws into double coverage, and it does get broken up, and Pfeffer is there along with Derek Howard. Howard's another guy we talked about who transferred in, is making ECR a better club.
Third down and 11 on what could be the final play of the opening quarter. And they'll pitch it back. Powell to the outside, lost the ball. Spellman hit him. El Camino football.
That's a break for El Camino.
Covered by El Camino.
Robin Bueno, number 8, in the middle of a lot of things for ECR, and their fans love it on homecoming.
Well, you know, when the offense has your ears pinned back, you got to make a play like that, and Robin Bueno came up big for his club.
Well, so far, Jake, this is exactly the opposite of what we expected. It's defense leading the way.
Well, we see Powell go around the end. He's dragged down, and it flies out. That's Spellman forcing the fumble, and then Bueno on it. So that is team defense causing a turnover.
First down, ECR.
ECR's offense looking to wake up. A little bit more operating room should make matters a little bit easier. Colin Ermita, number 14 in the backfield. Ermita with a good gain, and that will be the final play of the opening quarter.
Well, entertaining, but not many points.
I believe that'll change, and probably pretty soon. El Camino in the blue. Cleveland in the white battled through 12 minutes of scoreless football on LA36. Pretty interesting quarter indeed.
And in case you're wondering, that is not fog. That's smoke from the barbecue stand over in the end zone, and it sure smells good, too.
Yeah, those burgers look good as well.
So if you're watching at home, come on down and have a burger.
Well, I would expect ECR to try to establish the run game and then to set up the passing game. They have field position. They just brought Ermita in, and he's a guy that can flash big plays. There he is, number 14, young running back who they really love here. Tremendous upside and a breakaway threat.
Well, you know, with that many weapons, you start to think that Elko is going to find their groove and put some points on the board.
A couple penalties sidelined them a little bit in that first quarter. They came at inopportune times. They had completed a pass which would have given them a first down, but they had an illegal man downfield. Some cleanup to do in that area, and you got to think that that offense will get going. But Corey Hall of Cleveland has come up big early in this game. He's made some nice plays defensively for the Cavaliers.
Well, Hall, a super athletic guy who can put his hand in the ground and go against offensive linemen and then turn around and turn on the jets and be a receiver on offense.
Second down and 8 as we begin the second quarter in Woodland Hills. There was a threat of rain earlier in the day. Now that has gone away, and it's actually a fairly nice night. Out of the gun for Feinberg. He's going to throw it to Ermita, and in space, they wrap him up. And guess who? You know it by now. It's Hall. He's everywhere. Corey Hall.
We just got done talking about him, and he's Johnny on the spot again with a big tackle for a loss.
He is a player. In fact, when I talked to Jason Zabak before the game, I said, what do you think of Cleveland? And I didn't think he'd throw any one individual out. And he goes, you know, that number 4 is a good player. Well, he's right. He's a very good player.
Well, they say the film doesn't lie. And Coach is right. If he did any recon at all, he would see number 4 again and again on both sides of the ball.
First 30 seconds of the second quarter, and Feinberg staring down the barrel of third down and 8. Feinberg's thrown 10 touchdowns this season. Out pattern. That's not going to be enough for the first down. Nice catch on that sideline, but not enough for the first down. You want to go a little bit deeper with your pattern there as it was brought in. Serrano made the catch, but he's a couple yards shy. There is another flag out.
Well, that's a dangerous pass to throw, and Feinberg had enough zip on that to get it out in the flat and make it a completion. The danger is if you put any loft in that at all, it's a problem.
They roughed up Feinberg. So ECR's first break of the game, other than the fumble, which they made happen with a great hit by Spellman.
Well, let's take a look. Feinberg throws it over there. Comes up with a completion and took a hit after he got rid of the ball.
And for the first time this evening, ECR in Cleveland territory. Ermita. And that Cleveland front wall holds up, and no running room for Colin Ermita. So far, not a lot of holes in that Cleveland defense.
No, Cleveland's showing us a lot. Playing defense here, and it doesn't look like they've shrunk from any challenge. They're ready and have been able to stuff the run and also defend the pass.
Second down. And a long 9. Feinberg and Ermita in that backfield. He's capable of running and will. First down, ECR. Terrific run from Ryan Feinberg, who ran for nearly 100 yards in the loss against Banning.
Well, at one point he had to decide whether to throw or run, and he saw the real estate in front of him to pick up a first down, and he also had no trouble lowering his shoulder and putting a hit on the defender. Let's take a look again. Looks like a designed rollout. 3 guys after him, maybe 4, and then finally he has to lower the shoulder pad, and he puts a hit on Stephen Ha.
Yeah, Stephen Ha took the brunt of that assault. By the way, Ryan's brother, Jordan Feinberg's here tonight. Plays for Cal Lutheran. Plays for the Kingsmen, who are 4-0 on the season. Dover is available. Looking for running room. Still going on the sideline. Cameron Dover, after the catch, showing his strength and his leg power.
Good piece of work there on the sideline where he's fighting for extra yards and he gets them. That's a connection that ECR needs to work on a little more.
Well, he's a load to handle because of his size. Big body, Cameron Dover, 6'2" and 180 pounds.
What do they say? He's like 7'11", he's always open.
He is available, yes. He is open all the time. Ermita on the draw. He's hammered but has a first down.
Man.
He was hit hard by Toribe again.
Toribe there, and he took a big stick and also gets credit for the tackle, so he didn't shrink from a big hit there. And Ermita dishing out some punishment as he picks up first down.
First and 10 ECR. This is a good-looking drive, aided and abetted by that roughing the passer call. It kept the drive going. And the Royals looking to capitalize. Inside of 8 minutes to play in a scoreless first half. Feinberg will dash upfield, and he has running room. Feinberg has a touchdown, but there's a flag out right at the goal line. He's dangerous with his legs.
Yeah, that was a nice run by Feinberg. I'd be curious to see what the laundry on the field is all about. He saw an opening there, and he knew he was going to have to take a hit in the goal line, and he got through. We'll see if it stands.
And where the flag was thrown, Jake, that penalty didn't need to occur. It's going against ECR. Feinberg was going to get to the end zone.
Yeah, down there by the goal line, you're going to have referees right in front of you. So whoever was blocking for him, who was holding.
Well, they still have an opportunity, but the Royals lose the score on the flag.
Looks like
still first down.
Looks like they nailed Dorian Jefferson there, who came out of the game for a breather. El Camino still knocking on the door.
Ermita. He's in. Colin Ermita. Feinberg with his 11th touchdown aerial of the season. So the penalty does not hurt them. They come right back and score.
Well, Feinberg probably tell you touchdown or touchdown, whether I run it in or throw it in, it doesn't matter. But any quarterback's going to want to have more touchdown passes on his record. Nice little drive by Cleveland with some hiccups, but they push it in the promised land.
Yeah, the Royals look good on that drive. Asa Johnson, their outstanding kicker, is not in for the PAT. Instead, they go with the other kicker who's very good, Chavez Borelli, and he drives it through. Nice to have the luxury of two good kickers. Well, let's go back to that touchdown. Ryan Feinberg, he baited the defenders in and just tossed it to Ermita, who was available.
Yeah, not much Cleveland can do there. Just throw it over the defense, and Ermita with a head of steam is not going to be brought down, and he didn't have far to go.
Well, this is different for ECR. This is a different relationship in the football world for this team because they're leading. They've been behind mostly the entire year, playing heavyweights every week. It's kind of different. It'll be interesting to see how they handle playing from in front.
You know, football's such a tough game to play that when you're losing, everything is harder and demoralizing. So, yeah, to be playing guys in your own neighborhood instead of the heavyweights has to be a relief for the guys in blue. And it shows. They have the lead, and they're in a competitive game against the team that's more their match.
And next week, a game we'll have for you on LA36. ECR will host Chatsworth, the Chancellors.
West Valley battle.
Yeah, another one over in West Valley League play. Well, that man again is out there to kick it, Chavez Borelli. He's also a middle linebacker, a senior on defense, so he's a tough kid. That's an available football. It bounced off of Cleveland. ECR football.
Wow. That's a game-changing play. I can't imagine that was a planned kick.
It worked, however, and they'll take it. Elko's a happy sideline, and they're joyous over there. That's 57, Ricardo Rodriguez. For a senior to come up with a football on a big night, you got to feel good. It's homecoming, and you give your team an opportunity.
Yeah, let's take a look. It looks like he whiffed on the kick, and it hits an up back. No fault of his own, and then blue shirts are on it. And now El Camino has a chance to double their advantage.
Yeah, it hits Scott Wayuti.
Well, again, not his fault. He's there to block, and, well, it's unfortunate that it caught his leg.
Feinberg back over the middle to Ermita, and that combination hooks up again, and he's free inside the 30 and down to the 27-yard line. At that point, he was ridden down by Marcos Torribe.
Well, that's definitely a game-changing play, and ECR needs to cash it in. But when you get the ball back after you score a touchdown, the offense just has a spring in their step, and you're seeing it here.
And it's tough on the other side for Cleveland. That defense has been out there for a while.
Yeah, they're tired. They look like they were going to have a break. Then they got to put their helmets back on.
Quick pitch to Ermita, who's busy. Better job of penetration from that Cleveland defense, and they force the Elko running back out of bounds. But again, you can see how Elko's featuring number 14. He's an underclassman, a junior, and they know that he has a bright future in front of him.
Well, Ermita runs with purpose, and he runs, it looks like from here, without a lot of fear. He's comfortable running by you or running over you, but he's going to run towards the end zone.
Second down and 9. Inside of 6 minutes to play in the half, and Feinberg is throwing. Got an available target. It's Luke Peffer at 6'3". He just went up and got it. They got some tall wideouts in Peffer and Dover.
Yeah, nice pitch and catch there. It's almost impossible to defend if you can catch that ball, especially if the receiver is coming back towards the ball. The defender really has nothing they can do besides try to make a tackle. And on first down, if you can, pick up a big chunk, it helps. And a play like that, you move the chains again.
You're in the red zone at the 15-yard line with a first down. Officials timeout for the moment.
Yeah, it looks like the ref on the far side of the field has something going on with the chain.
There might be an extra kink in the chain. He's trying to get that straightened out.
Yeah.
And they have fixed the issue, and teams are ready to go back and collide. Feinberg to the end zone. Lobbing it up. Out of bounds for Peffer. He caught it, but he was outside the boundary.
Well, a nifty bit of acrobatics from Mr. Peffer because he turned one way and then turned another, made a grab, but just couldn't keep his feet inside the line.
Peffer's a guy that earlier this season had a kickoff return for a touchdown. Terrific attitude. Another young player for the Royals. Second down and 10 at the 15 of Cleveland. Ermita running hard, gets about 4, perhaps 5, and it'll be third down.
Yeah, brought down by 3 guys, and that's what you need to get Ermita to the turf.
Yeah, the principal tackler, though, is Christopher Alcantar, who's a defensive end, who's solid veteran, emotional leader for Cleveland. Well, football is a game of third downs, isn't it? See if the Royals can convert. Feinberg came to the sideline, has a play. And that clock is running. Somewhat cavalier about going to that sideline.
Yeah, sometimes guys don't have a sense of where that is, especially at the high school level, because it's not a visible clock.
Third down, 6 yards needed. Stay on the ground. It's going to be fourth down. No chance for Ermita in the middle of that front. There's some tough guys there. And there's that man again who's so good. Gabe Juarez, the defensive end. Kicking team is on. Trying to extend the lead. And it will be Chavez Borelli, the senior, that kicks. What a luxury to have 2 outstanding kickers.
Yeah, that's fortunate.
Royals looking to extend to a 10-0 lead. He's got it. Chavez Borelli.
Number 30, Borelli's kick is good.
Well, they capitalize
0, Royals.
on the kick that they recovered. Remember, it bounced off of Scott Woyuti, and they got the recovery and capitalized, went down the field and kicked the field goal.
Well, field goal's better than nothing and not as good as a touchdown. And you know, coaches say they just want to add points. So if at the high school level you have a kicker who can put it between the pipes, you go and take that kick.
Yeah, now makes it a 2-score game. You're playing at home. It's homecoming. And as we take a look at this field goal, and I'll get to this point in a minute, and Chavez Borelli, that was not a particularly great snap, good hold, and a good kick. But I think the major component in this first half is how cohesive the ECR defense has been.
Yeah. I mean, they gave up a couple first downs on their first possession, and that's been about it.
Well, now Asa Johnson's on to kick. What a luxury to have 2 guys who can really hammer the football. There's the strong leg of Asa Johnson. That'll roll into the end zone, and it's a touchback.
Yeah, Jackson Pafau went over to get it, and then it skipped by it into the end zone. The referees blew it dead. So Cleveland will set up shop at their 20, and all right, they got to put some first downs together.
At halftime, Jason Zabalik as a special guest, his assistant coach, Rick Hayashida. Plus, we'll have some homecoming festivities for you. But be sure to listen to that intriguing interview with the coach interviewing his assistant coach. That ought to be something to take in.
You don't get that every day at a high school football game.
Well, Cleveland will start from its 20-yard line. Their offense at times has moved it, but stalled. Timeout on the field. Taken by El Camino Real.
El Camino a little disorganized on defense, wants to talk it over.
What do you want to see from Cleveland's offense to try to get back down the field and try to get in the end zone?
Well, Nano Lopez needs to find his touch. In the first couple possessions, he was on, he was off, and if he can put it on the money to his receivers, Cleveland has a chance to move the chains. We saw a little bit of the running game. It was decent. I don't think we've seen enough of Cleveland's offense yet to really form a concrete opinion. I mean, this drive means a lot. If they can move it down the field and get some points, or at least eat up some clock so they don't fall further behind before the half, well, then they'll have done a good thing. But at this point, they've got their ears pinned back because they've given up 10 consecutive points and they haven't had the ball in a while. So let's see what Lopez and his cohorts can do on offense.
Yeah, and he's got terrific targets in Hall, number 4, and Roberts, number 10. Lopez in the gun. Of course, they want to take care of the football. Last thing you want to do is turn it over. Short pass to the far side, and again, the defense is airtight. Just no running room on that sideline.
Interesting. There was an early whistle, and it didn't look like Corey Hall was really brought to the ground.
He's tough to bring to the ground. Corey Hall is just a terrific talent.
Sounds like that was an inadvertent whistle because the refs kind of let the play continue until Hall really was stopped.
He did get 4 yards, and it's probably a pretty good idea to find that man and get him the football, isn't it?
Yeah, when in doubt, get it to Hall. Both these teams have some weapons on the outside, guys who can catch the ball and run with it after the catch.
Well, at Cleveland, they're saying Hall will go to the Hall of Fame at Cleveland. He's that good. 2nd and 6, the clock is running. 2:40 left, opening half. On LA36, West Valley League action, El Camino Real football. With Jake Downey, I'm Randy Rosenblum. Lopez to the air, no good. His passes have been a little bit too high.
Yeah, that one a bit too much sauce on that one. And, you know, sometimes you got to have a sense of where you are and where your receiver is instead of throwing a fastball every time. It's not like it's easy. It's not like it's perfect every time, and every quarterback has a different way of doing things. But, you know, it helps to know your receivers and know which of them can handle the fastball and when you throw an off-speed pitch.
This becomes a very big play. It's 3rd down and 6. They do not want to give the ball back to ECR and give the Royals a chance to score before half. A huge play in Woodland Hills on homecoming. El Camino showing blitz. And here they come after the quarterback, and they get to him. What a charge. Lopez had no chance. Coming through is Necochea.
Yeah, Necochea just sniffed that play out, and he didn't let Lopez get loose. Brought him to the ground, and that's a big-time play for El Camino. They want to put some more points on the board before the break. Demoralizing for Cleveland.
By number 48, Donovan Necochea.
ECR has taken a timeout. They'll send Howard back deep, and there's Necochea, another player that's become eligible and is one of the forces now on defense. So that's the biggest story in Woodland Hills tonight. Not that El Camino's got the lead, in my opinion, because coming in we thought it'd be a tight game. But it's that defense, making stops, making plays.
Yeah, and again, we talked about the 3 additions for El Camino, and those guys continue to make a difference. We're going to see Howard return a punt here. And pre-game, we said these two teams are pretty evenly matched. And I would still say they are. But so far, El Camino's had the breaks, and they've made the breaks for themselves between the onside kick and forcing a fumble and just making things happen. And going and scoring a touchdown when it was a scoreless game. And also the disappointment of getting one called back, and then Feinberg, first by ground and then by air, finds the end zone and gets his guys on the board.
Jackson Fa'u will punt. Howard is back deep. And the Royals should get terrific field position. They kick away from Howard. But it bounces right to him. What a convenient hop. And he has running room near side. The Royals are in business, principally off a terrific run by Derek Howard.
Yeah, you know, a bit risky to try to field a punt after it's been on the ground, but he got a nice kangaroo hop, and it teed up nicely for him to pick up, about 20 yards and give his guys a short field at looks like about the 26. So take a look at the punt again. It comes down, bounces twice, and then Howard says, I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to get my balance. He did not hit the ground with his knee, and then he's going to go about 20 yards around end before he's finally pushed out of bounds. And ECR looking to add to their lead, maybe make it 13-0, 17-0 before the break.
Still have nearly 2 minutes. Feinberg wants it all on first down for Dover. Out of bounds. He pleads his case. It's not a touchdown. That sideline cannot believe the call. I'd like to take a look at that one again.
Yeah, and the side judge asking the El Camino bench to get back. The referee's got to run the sidelines, and it's always dangerous, but he emphatically said that Dover was out of bounds. We'll take a look. Feinberg puts it in a perfect spot. Dover with the height advantage goes and gets it 1 foot down. That's a touchdown.
Yeah, that's a blown call. And the fans, if they'd see, they're already booing, if they'd see that replay. Yeah.
I don't like to call out the referees. They have a tough job, and we get to see it a second time.
But that was a miss.
Yeah.
They have to overcome that if you're ECR, and now they're stalled. So that's one as Spellman goes down. We might want to look back on if this game turns around. Oscar Montiel with a terrific defensive play there on Spellman. Let's go back and take another look at this. Dover obviously gets the 1 foot in.
Well, we got great camera work here by our LA36 crew, and Dover, eyes on the prize, grabs it with his gloves, clearly has 1 foot in before he steps out of bounds. I guess the only thing would be, did he take it to the ground?
He might have been juggling. On second look, that might have been a good call. The foot was down, but he was juggling. That would have been up in the replay booth for a while, I think, in the NFL.
Not absolute possession to the ground.
Yeah, or in college football, we only need the 1 foot in.
Which is why I don't like to criticize refs.
Yep. In space, Spellman turned around, can't get loose. Well, on a second look, it changed my opinion.
You know, Cleveland's just trying to get to the half 10-0 because you would think a team that wants to score would be calling timeout here.
Well, it's fourth down, so you want to give yourself one play here. And don't allow Cleveland to have any time. They're milking the clock down. Maybe to take it all the way down so there's one play and then you just hurl it toward the end zone or try the very long field goal, but it'd be a 50-yard attempt.
I think they're waiting to call timeout with zeros on the play clock.
That would be the right call, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Leaves Cleveland with no remaining time. We round it off to 4 seconds.
Timeout, ECR.
Fourth down. And it's Hail Mary time.
All right, so all that assumption that they were going to kick a long field goal is out the window, and Feinberg is going to show us how strong an arm he has.
You know that Dover wants the football. You know that, number 4.
You got a big guy who can go and get it, as he showed us a couple plays ago.
Final play of the half, barring a penalty. Feinberg to the end zone. Incomplete. Well, not a bad try. Tried to get it to Jefferson. The half is over. El Camino Real goes into the locker room with a 10-0 lead. Could have been more, but they'll take the 10. And they're looking for a victory in their West Valley League opener on homecoming. Well, a little bit earlier tonight, we had an opportunity to have Jason Zabalt, the head coach of ECR, talk with Rick Hayashida, one of his assistant coaches. It's an intriguing chat. Let's check it out.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jason Sabalik. I'm back once again with Randy Rosenblum and the LA36 team. And today I have with me as a guest Coach Rick Hayashida. Thanks for joining me, Coach.
Oh, it's been a pleasure this whole season.
Well, I'll tell you, not just this evening, but, thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining us in our endeavor as you come back to the school that you brought to stardom, and you get to coach with a couple of your 2 T's, I being one of them. How does that feel for you as a coach coming back and kind of that full circle moment?
Honestly, it's been a bucket list, type one of those wishes that, I knew that I always wanted to come back and coach with you guys, and kind of made the full circle of coaching.
Fantastic, Coach. Now, rewind about a year and a half ago, you went through some struggles. Talk about that. Did you see yourself coming back to the field and coaching?
I really didn't. I had a double lung transplant. Doctors really didn't want me to be out here, but everything's been going so well, so quickly that, it's been good.
It's a blessing. We say Hayashida strong, and we break on that a lot very often as just the tried true warrior comes out every single day in the midst of a pandemic with a respiratory infection. It's unparalleled, I think, in my tenure of seeing coaches throughout the days. Now, we did have a couple of firsts this year, did we? I wanted to talk about a couple of the firsts. I got a chance to take Coach Hayashida to our passing tournaments, and for the first time, what happened?
One, we missed the first game of a passing league tournament, which I've never experienced, and then I missed the first game because I got sick, which was another first. But you know what? I've enjoyed being out here. It's been a lot of fun coaching with you and, Noe, because you guys are my former players.
It's wonderful to have you, Coach. Coach is our master coach. He basically oversees us and makes sure that we don't do anything too terribly wrong. He is our conscience offensively, defensively, special teams. He is a wealth of knowledge, and it's just fun to get to go and chat with you every single day. What are the keys to victory tonight, Coach, in your opinion?
I think we just have to do the same things we've been doing. We played a tough preseason schedule, as you know, and I think we're now back into our element. And kind of excited to see what's going to happen tonight.
I'm excited. I can't wait. I think it's going to be a great match. Give me some critique, Coach. How am I doing in my first year here? Coming from a standpoint of somebody that's actually been here and done it at this school for a very long time and been successful.
Well, honestly, I think it's my turn to take over, and maybe you become my assistant. But no, you're running a Class A program. You're doing things that no one at El Camino has ever done. I'm not just talking about coaching and the X's and O's. I'm talking about the overall development of the program. And honestly, I'm awfully proud of you because you really stepped up.
Thank you, Coach. I really appreciate that, and getting to spend every single day with you, it's a blessing. It really is. Well, let's take it away to some halftime festivities for homecoming. Hopefully it's a great evening, and I wish everybody the best, and hopefully we put on a good show tonight.
up for band and dance guys. I can't hear you. Are you guys excited for their performance? That was weak. One more time. moment you've all been waiting for. We are going to reveal our senior homecoming royalty! The nominees include Perry and David, Tina, Helen, David Rittenhouse, and Gabriel!
That would have hit me in the head. You wouldn't know that would have hit me in the head. That's like that.
And the winner is Tina and Gabriel! Give it up for your senior royalty! Happy homecoming!
After a stirring halftime on homecoming here in Woodland Hills at El Camino Real, the Royals leading 10-0 over Cleveland. We're set for the second half, but Jack, let's go back and take a look at some of the highlights from the opening 24 minutes.
Well, early on we had some trickeration here, but you know what? Cleveland had other ideas. Corey Hall with the big hit there. And then Feinberg with a big gain here, lowers his shoulder, picks up a first down, and then he's going to drop it in the hands of number 14. That's Colin Ermita, and Ermita finds the promised land, and it's 7-0. And then El Camino with kind of an accidental onside kick, I would say. They fall on it and change momentum. It's a first down for the guys in blue, and it means that Cleveland's defense has to stay on the field. El Camino settles for a field goal, and that's Lorenzo Chavez Borelli splitting the pipes, and that's where we stand, 10-0 at the break as we await the kickoff to start the second half.
And it was nearly 17-0. Dover caught a ball in the end zone. He got the foot down. We initially said bad call. Looked like a bad call. Should have been a touchdown. Then we saw from another angle he might not have had full possession. So it was one of those that was too close to call. So I guess, hey, let's give the officials the benefit of the doubt. It is 10-0, but it was that close to being 17-0 El Camino.
So you're saying I can't call Mike Pereira and get a ruling on this?
You can call him, but he'd say it's too close to call. They called it no good on the field, so the play stands.
Yeah, you know, our crew had that shot all the way to the ground, and, you know, the referee's got to make that call in the moment and make a decision instantaneously. We have the benefit of seeing it a couple times.
There's Robin Bueno. He's a tough kid, underclassman, made some plays in that first half, made a big play on defense to slow down Cleveland's rushing attack. Let's go back to that, I don't want to call it controversial call because he's got the foot down, but does he have full possession? Is he juggling the ball?
Well, Dover goes and gets it. Yes, clearly has a foot in bounds. You know, even if he was fumbling with the ball, I don't know if the referee would have seen it. I think he was making that ruling more on the footwork than on possession because the possession was blocked to the referee making that call.
Yeah, he definitely got the leg down. So to me, it was just about did he have complete control of the football, and it was close.
But, you know, he had the ball, he had the foot down, and then as he came down, it was a little dicey. And then I'd be curious to know what the rule is at the high school level on what they consider possession.
Chavez Borelli to kick off. And Cleveland will get the football for us. Keep in mind, this is a Cleveland team that in the preseason was 2-1. Their lone loss was at Powerful Palisades, 39-0. And the second half is underway, and the same result off of one of those Cleveland players, and that's a live football. So I think now it is a design play to do that. Let's see if Cleveland got it back. El Camino football. It has happened again. They have recovered. Sean Trevino with the recovery.
Man, that was a violent collision there as the Cleveland up back, Eric Gonzalez, it looks like, went for the ball and got a full helmet of other helmets.
Well, Jake, you know, we had surmised, certainly you did, that you felt that was almost like an accidental kickoff the first time when this was led them to the promised land. This time, I think it's intentional that they're kicking into the opening wall there.
Well, it sure does create a lot of havoc there. And look at that. Oh, two young men go right for the ball, and they bang heads. That's exactly the collision we're trying to avoid.
Well, the good news, everybody's okay, and we're about ready to resume. But you're right. That was quite a collision.
That was Xavier Acosta who got the short end of that one and was down on the field. We're glad to see him get up under his own power.
So we're 5 seconds into the third quarter, and we've had a lot of things happen in that short period of time. And here comes the offense of El Camino Real. Now this is important for Cleveland. They need to keep ECR out of the end zone.
Yeah, and keep an eye on Dover. Dover is split wide, and he's smelling touchdown again as El Camino is looking to break this open. And El Camino looking like the dominant team here, but also a team, again, playing bigger clubs, is 0-5.
But this is the one that counts. It's the league opener, and there goes Spellman. First and goal, ECR. Troy Spellman breaking free.
Well, Spellman with a big-time run there, got outside, had a full head of steam, and finally got dragged down inside the 5, and Cleveland has their ears pinned back again. Feinberg just puts it in his breadbasket, and Spellman a lick inside, switches hands to the outside. Clever move there to try to prevent the fumble, and he's finally knocked out of bounds.
Guess who saved the touchdown? Corey Hall. Who else on defense?
That guy is everywhere.
First and goal, Royals. Quarterback, Feinberg with it, and they're waiting for him.
That was actually a direct snap to Robin Bueno. It didn't go anywhere, so now we've got a second and short.
Yeah, Gabe Juarez again snuffed out the play.
El Camino mixing it up a little bit, showing the Cleveland defense some different looks.
Second down and goal. Will they attack in the air? Golden opportunity for ECR. And they took too much time.
Delay game, offense. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
That changes the play call. You got to think you're on the 5 and now you're on the 10. So what does ECR do now? And it appears Feinberg has the answer, and he's going to tell his guys to get back on scrimmage. We got a play to run.
Well, Cleveland's thinking we got a chance to make a big hold here and limit Elko to 3. Second down from the 10-yard line. And they're going to be looking at third down and still about 7 for the touchdown. Spellman went nowhere. Terrific defense again by Cleveland up front. Oscar Montiel knifed in to make the play.
Well, this is a game-defining stand here for Cleveland if they can make it. If they can hold Elko to a field goal here, you're talking about a 2-score game. They give up a touchdown, they're looking at a 3-score hole.
A huge play in Woodland Hills on homecoming. Third and goal for the Royals. To the end zone. Is it caught? Touchdown. A perfect strike.
Touchdown, Royals.
Luke Peffer.
Well,
Number 6 at 6'3". They wanted to get it to him because of his size, but he's a really talented young man. And again, he's outstanding. And Peffer gets the score, and it's 16-0. His whole family's right in front of us, by the way.
Yeah, excited mom and dad that we can see. And Luke looked like he took a bit of a stick at the goal line as he was hanging on to that one. Looks like he's all right.
This time Asa Johnson on for the point after. And again, they have the luxury of 2 outstanding kickers, and it's 17-0. And they're able to overcome the delay of game and get the touchdown. Feinberg gets his second touchdown pass of the game, this time to number 6, Luke Peffer.
Well, take a look at Feinberg. He knows where he's going, and he puts it on a dime right there to Peffer at the goal line. Peffer had to get over the line there, and he did. Big-time pitch and catch for Feinberg and Peffer.
How frustrating is this for Cleveland? They're turning the ball over in some odd ways here, twice on kickoffs that have bounced off of their guys who are standing right around the 50-yard line.
Well, and now you got to assume it's coming. So you wonder if the guys, the hands guys and back are thinking we got to go up and support the big guys in front who may not be as nimble grabbing the ball.
Chavez Borelli to kick off. It's his turn. See when foot hits leather where it will be directed. He's going deep with the kick. He's got a strong leg. Roberts, and he's dangerous. High step in as he goes out across the 30.
Stephon Roberts with a big pickup for Cleveland. gutty call to go get that at his goal line and run it back, but Cleveland needs to make some plays now that they're looking at a 17-point deficit.
Yeah, they're going to have to get their offense going, no question about it.
That's fine. So we're going to go. Hey, Oscar.
And they're going to have to open it up a little bit in the aerial game, and they have not shown a propensity to throw down the field, and they have not had success throwing the football at any time tonight.
You know, they also haven't had the ball very much, and so.
Personal foul. Kicking team, number 16. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Well, that'll help. Serrano a little bit too aggressive on that kicking unit. And now Cleveland has operating room. They'll start from their 46-yard line.
Well, let's see what they got. It's been a while since they've taken an offensive snap.
Lopez asking for the football. Long signal count. And he will air it out deep. A near miss. Well, that's the first time they've been able to try to stretch the field with Roberts. Stephen Roberts has got great speed, but he's a frustrated young man. They just haven't been able to get him the football tonight.
No, and it's guys like Roberts that need to step up and make a big play if Cleveland's going to get back in this game. That's the kind of thing they needed to convert. So we get a little taste of what kind of arm that Nano has, and, well, he can sling it, and just a bit too much mustard on that fastball as well.
Jake, is it imperative that Cleveland scores on this possession?
Well, you know, the hill gets bigger if the clock keeps ticking and you remain down by 17. There's still a lot of game left, and you never want to say never. It's high school football. But Cleveland needs to feel some urgency.
And they do have some fleet-footed game breakers on their unit. Roberts and Hall. Throw behind Hall this time. That was not a good aerial. And you know, that's frustrating for Corey Hall, who had some operating room, and the ball wasn't near him.
I still get the sense that Lopez is finding his groove here.
That was a backward lateral, they're calling it. At least that's where the sticks are lining up. And I think they say, no, it was a pass. It's interesting. The guys on the sticks over there are probably El Camino Real people. And they were going to say, well, that's a backward lateral, and we'll back them up 5 yards. But Craig Becker said, no, get that stick back where it belongs. It's 3rd down and 10.
Well, sometimes you can be on the visitor sideline. You can see cheering for the home team, and you say, hey, what are those guys saying over there?
Well, here's another big play for the Cavaliers. They need to have something go well for them. They need to get a conversion on 3rd and long. See if El Camino brings a blitz. Remember this situation in the first half, they did get a sack. Better protection. Another deep ball. It's incomplete. This time they targeted Hall. And they throw the flag.
That's the kind of break that Cleveland needed. At the high school level, you're not going to get the distance on that, but you are going to get a first down.
Looked like a good call.
Pass interference. Defense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Results, first down.
All right, so we'll take a look at it. Lopez bombs away looking for the same favorite receiver. And looks like the defenders got there a little bit before the ball arrived. That was Derek Howard. And Cleveland handed 15 free yards as they keep this drive going.
Gives them the first down. That's critical as well. Cavaliers needing to score. Still plenty of time. 9 minutes plus in the 3rd. West Valley League opener. Powell for a few. Donovan Powell.
Hard yards in traffic. Bring up a 2nd and 7.
He's great in space. A home run hitter is Powell, and he's gotten loose a few times. And they know with his speed, one play could get them right back in the ball game. Picked up 2. It's 2nd and 8.
Cleveland with some positive momentum.
But they need to capitalize. They have field position. They have gotten a break here on the interference call. Lopez looking over that defense again, taking a lot of time before he takes that snap in. And again, he airs it out and nobody there. Now, he wanted to throw the football to the outside into Marcos Toribe, but Toribe went one way, broke off the pattern, and the ball was well overthrown, and it's 3rd down and 8.
Well, once again, I would have to think this is 4-down territory for Cleveland.
Yeah, if you're El Camino, you're thinking if you can make 2 plays here, 2 stops, then you have Cleveland by the neck. And if you're Cleveland, you're saying, hey, we got field position. This is our chance to get right back into the football game.
Well, if you think this is 2-down territory, then maybe you run it here.
That would not be a bad call with Donovan Powell right behind his quarterback, Lopez. Roberts and Hall split to the right. Going back to Powell. Spellman got a jersey tug, but Powell got through that. And finally, Peffer makes the tackle way downfield at a 1st down. What a great effort by Powell. So instead of handing it to Donovan, they threw it to him, and he made the play.
Man, I'll be curious to see this again because this is the mark of a great back. A guy who doesn't go down on the first hit. And watch Powell show some of his moves, shake the first tackler, the second, the third. In space, he's past the 1st down marker and finally dragged down. That's a nifty play by Powell to help his club at a time that they really needed it.
Yeah, that was a huge effort getting away from Spellman. And boy, did Cleveland need that. They're bailed out by Donovan Powell. See the clock running at 7:18. Cleveland desperately needing to score. Hall's the motion man. They flip it to him. Running wide, and he gets a few. He's knocked out of bounds by Devin Howard, the brother of Derek Howard. Both 1 and 2 are the Howard brothers playing for El Camino Real.
Not a bad call on 1st down. Positive yards. Get your stud Hall back into the offensive flow.
It's a well-coached Cleveland team under the tutelage of Peter Gunny. 2nd year. He was a great player in his own right, all-city player was Gunny at Granada Hills. What we've seen from his program in the spring and again here in the fall has been very, very good stuff. They are just a team that executes very well. Lopez for Roberts. Incomplete. Sikowski broke it up. Excellent defense from Caden Sikowski.
We haven't called Sikowski's name yet tonight, and he stepped up at a big time and prevented a touchdown.
Yeah, Sikowski earlier this year had an interception against a good Pasadena team, and that time he denied Roberts.
So with the height advantage, you would say that Nano's got to put this up in the air where you can go get it at the highest point. Roberts, clearly the taller guy, but Sikowski got a hand in there and foiled it.
3rd down. A long 4. The land really needs a conversion here again.
And once again, you got to think it's 4-down territory.
See if they pin their ears back and come after Lopez. That one's tipped away and incomplete. Again, Hall was the target. Spellman, the neck of the woods again. Number 3's all over the football field for this El Camino Real team.
Yeah, it looks like Devin Howard got a hand in there as well, but whatever it was, made it tough for Corey Hall to hang on.
Well, it's 4th down. 4 to go, and obviously they got to go for it here. They're not going to try the field goal, and they could use a 3-pointer down by 17, but they're going for it. Lopez needs a big completion here. He needs to find a target. Roberts and Hall again are split to the right. 4 receivers on the flanks. Big 4th down play. Short, he underthrew Roberts. Sikowski was covering, and the ball goes over on downs. And El Camino Real with a huge defensive stand.
A little bit of miscommunication there between Nano and his receivers. The one thing you can say that Cleveland did was that they moved the ball and flipped the field. So they can play some defense here and stay in this game. It was important for their confidence on offense to know that they could move the ball down the field, and they did. With some hiccups, of course, they turned it over. But they're in the part of the field where if they can force a punt, they can hang in there and still make it an interesting game down the stretch.
Yeah, we're still only at the midway point of the 3rd quarter, so there is a long way to go. On homecoming, though, it's looking better all the time for El Camino Real. Jason Zabak looking to pick up his first victory as head coach of his alma mater. He was a great player here. Running room. If they can get the ground game going, it's going to be very difficult for Cleveland as Ermita got a nice chunk there.
Yeah, you give the ball to Ermita either by air or by ground, and you're talking about positive yards. That guy is a beast to take down.
Yeah, Colin is 5'10", 175 pounds, a junior. Again, he's dynamic in space. He figures to be the primary guy next year. Had some moments as well during the spring ball season where he came of age. 1st and 10 for Elko. The Royals. Are you used to the name? They used to be the Conquistadors. No more. Quick out pattern. And threw that one to Jefferson, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, for so long we had called them the Conquistadors.
I like the Royals.
Yeah. Well, you know.
It's royal blue, isn't it?
Yeah.
And look at the fans. Are they having a good time? Energy in the stadium tonight at El Camino.
Well, it's homecoming. If you can't have energy on homecoming, when can you?
I had to put a second coat on. They don't look like they're cold at all, do they?
They're young and just bouncy, full of enthusiasm.
2nd down and 10 for El Camino. They're at their 31-yard line. Great protection. The deep ball for Dover. He was looking one way, had to turn back to the outside as he was looking inside, and just couldn't reel that one in. And it's pretty good coverage in that deep secondary as well from Stephen Ha. There is a flag out.
Holding. Offense, number 52. 10-yard penalty for the spot of the foul. Repeat, 2nd down.
Chris Flores caught with the ticket. You could see he was turned looking inside and had to swing all the way around to the outside and really never found the football.
Yeah, Feinberg with another beautiful rainbow, but on the receiving end, it's hard to turn left and then turn right and find the ball.
Got to put your directional on.
It's kind of like the center fielder. The ball's hit over his head, and, you got to turn the right way or you're not going to catch the ball.
2nd down and 10. Feinberg again to the sideline. You see him running back on, getting that play. One thing about Elko tonight, they've played a clean game. They haven't turned it over, no interceptions, no fumbles. They've recovered a couple kicks. They've recovered a fumble, so they've been opportunistic in this one, and that's why they have the lead. Feinberg's thrown 2 touchdown passes. He's rolling, and he's in trouble. He's in deep trouble. He's going in the wrong direction. It's not a safety. He was hit at about the 1-yard line.
Well, If that's third down, they need to pick up some positive yards so they don't have a tough punt out of the end zone.
Alcantar coming through and made the play. That's just a great play by Christopher.
Alcantar is on it. He goes and gets his man, and well, Feinberg is clever to hang on to the ball, make sure he didn't fumble, make sure he didn't throw an errant pass, and that's a big loss of yards to take.
And with 4 minutes and 38 seconds left in the third quarter, the Royals are going to regroup, come to the sideline, and talk about it. And have to come up with a big play. But you're right, Jake. I think they'd be thrilled if they could get 5 or 10 yards and give their punter a chance to have some operating room. And they got a good punter, a good kicker overall, and Lorenzo Chavez Borelli.
I don't think I've been able to say this in covering a football game in the past. It is 3rd and 41 from the 1.
Well, you don't get that very often. And unfortunately, there's not really a play for 3rd and 41. But you got to go back, and that was much needed. That was just a terrific play defensively by Alcantar, an emotional leader, a difference maker for Cleveland, and they had to have it. And you're right, you set it up perfectly, saying that if Cleveland could force Elko into a punt, they'll get great field position. And right now they have the Royals backed up all the way to the 1.
I'm looking at Feinberg, and he's getting checked out. It looks by the medicals. I wonder if he, suffered some type of injury when he got tackled there down by the goal line.
Well, it'll be Spellman who does everything. He'll back him up, and Spellman will take the snap. You got to think that.
Can you guys?
This will be a very cautious play. This isn't going very far, and it'll be 4th and still 41. Well, hopefully Ryan will be okay.
Well, this is what El Camino was trying to avoid, was punting out of a short end zone on 4th down, and this is still what keeps Cleveland in the game. Fielding a punt at the El Camino 40 and setting up shop with a short field.
Yeah, Stephen Roberts going to get a good look at this one. It's going to come out of there quickly, and he'll probably have a chance to run up and field it. He could also try to go for the block, and they just take the safety. That's what they did. I thought they might do that. They give away 2 points. It becomes a 17-2 game. And now the El Camino team will be kicking from their 20-yard line. I do believe it was intentional. It certainly looked that way.
Well, maybe not a bad play. Give yourself some breathing room to kick off, or I don't know, maybe a crazier thing is to try an onside kick. But you have given away the 3-possession advantage, but that also presumes that Cleveland can score twice and punch in a couple of extra points, including one from the field.
Now, again, they've had trouble in the past with snaps, so we really don't know if this was a planned safety. It certainly looked that way, although Chavez Borelli was saying, what's going on here?
Yeah, you don't see a strategic safety in the middle of the third quarter too often. That's usually something you just see at the end of the game.
Well, we haven't seen 2 kicks go into the front wall for onside kicks that were covered either. It's been an odd game in some ways. And it'll be Asa Johnson will kick it this time. And he's got a strong leg, and we all know that. Junior kicker. And he grounds it. This one's scooped up by Roberts. Roberts to the 50, and he's still going. Excellent field position for Cleveland.
All right, so not a bad swing of events for Cleveland. They get 2 points on the board. They're no longer shut out. They're within 2 scores. And they start this possession at the El Camino 35.
Well, now Cleveland's back in the game. You're right. They punch this in. Suddenly it's a 1-score game, and the momentum has swung toward the visitors from Reseda. So this is a huge possession. We're getting a little later now. 3:39 left in the third. Cleveland trying to rally on the road. Lopez just turns around and hands it off to Jordan, and he's hit the middle of that front. Spellman again, number 3, has been everywhere for El Camino Real. Guerrero was there as well, but number 3 has been sensational on both sides of the football for El Camino Real.
Well, we've been calling Spellman's name quite a bit, and doesn't seem to come off the field very much and wants to be where the ball is.
Yeah, you hear that nose for the football term, and you hear the term motor. He's both. He's got the great motor. He's always at the ball. 2nd down and 8. Lopez taking to the air for Roberts. Has him in the flat. Roberts still going. Breaking tackles down the sideline. Stephen Roberts inside the 5. 1st and goal, Cleveland. He's wanted the ball all night. He finally got it with some space.
It's the breakthrough Cleveland's been looking for, and boy, did he want the end zone. He was disappointed he got tripped up. Cleveland's knocking on the door. They're in business.
Yeah, they're back in the game. Had a huge play. Lopez to Roberts.
Just a little flat pass. Already positive yards. Shakes his first tackle, gets by his second. Then he's off to the races, but you mentioned Peffer, and Peffer made that tackle.
And saved the touchdown. To the end zone. That's overthrown.
Well, you got to think that Cleveland just has 4 rips at the goal line here.
Well, he wanted Corey Hall, speaking of 4. Well, they got athletes on the perimeter, no question, with Roberts and Hall. Just a matter of getting them the ball. Apparently there's a flag out because the officials are conferring.
Yeah, I'd be curious to know what that foul's about.
Dead ball. Sportsmanlike conduct on an assistant coach. 15-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Oh, that's a killer for Cleveland.
I wonder what the assistant coach said. I mean, you tell your kids to try to hold their emotions in check. And now you're an assistant coach and you lose it on the sideline, and that could theoretically cost them the ball game. Now it makes it a lot more dicey trying to score a touchdown. You can't do that.
No, that's a much bigger hill to climb.
And it's up to Lopez and the players to get it done and bail the assistant coach out. And now they're confused and they take the timeout. Peter Gunny's got to be bitterly upset.
Yeah, Dunning has given the ref a piece of his mind. I'm sure he's curious to know what was said, what was done, because that's a potentially game-changing call.
Certainly dampened the spirits for Cleveland after coming back down the field.
Lopez comes back into the huddle, and looks like Cleveland's ready to run a play. Although Gunning is still venting to the official.
That takes the ball out between the 19 and 20-yard line. And this is a big ask. It's doable for Cleveland. We'll see if they can overcome the penalty. Another deep pass. Did he come up with it? No, he's out of bounds.
He didn't grab it. He did not come down with the ball.
Yeah, intended for Corey Hall again.
Hall looked like he had it for a minute, but did not survive the ground.
Well, we'll take another look at that one of that far end of the end zone.
So Lopez hangs up another jump ball. The only guy who could come down with it is Lopez, is Hall.
He had it until he went to the ground.
Yeah. Well, that's what they say when you watch replays. Did the catch survive the ground?
The down marker says 3rd and 19. 2 minutes left in the third. This would be frustrating for Cleveland if they don't come away with points. It's a 17-2 game. Lopez again taking to the air and throwing it to no one.
Looking for Hall again, but it was behind him.
Well, Hall was breaking to the post and the ball was thrown to the outside. They weren't on the same page. And it's 4th down.
Well, what looked like a real promising Cleveland drive has been backed up, and now they got one play here.
Well, they're bringing the kicking team in. Boy, that penalty is huge. Absolutely huge. So Cleveland looking to get the field goal from Rodriguez to cut it to 12.
So he's only 5 yards behind scrimmage. Does he have enough space between him and scrimmage to get it up?
Kick is away and it's not close. Wide left by a wide margin. And after the penalty, Cleveland's got to go to the sideline and their kids have to be completely frustrated over that occurrence when an assistant coach picked up a penalty like that.
Well, they really did have a chance to get back in the game, and they still do. The 2 points does make a difference. They can still get back to level terms here, but that was a chance. A chance that goes by the boards. Taking a look at the kick, and this ball was wide left by, shall we say, a healthy margin. And
yes.
I don't know.
I think that's a mild understatement.
It seemed rushed, and if you're only kicking from 5 yards back instead of 7, there's a lot less margin for error.
Feinberg is back, and that's a good sign. Remember, he was shaken up on the last series of down, and he's throwing the football. He's got his man.
Rafa Cortez.
Haven't called Cortez's name tonight, and that's his first catch of the evening.
Cortez with some positive yards.
Picked up 7. It's 2nd down and 3.
Cortez, a 5'10 freshman, making a varsity contribution here on homecoming.
A lot of fans here. What we've noticed in the high school football, and really in all sports, great crowds. During the pandemic, people allowed to come out. They're happy. They want to cover their teams, want to show emotion at the games. But great support. Feinberg off balance, running, has a big hole. Takes a big hit by Roberts, and it might have been illegal.
Looks like it's coming back.
That was another violent collision.
Well, Feinberg was looking downfield.
We have multiple fouls. We have holding against the offense. We have illegal block in the back against the offense. The illegal block in the back is refused. The holding will be accepted. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Repeat, 2nd down.
So both schools hurting themselves with flags.
Yeah. We'll take a look here. Feinberg didn't see anyone open. Positive yards here. Takes another big hit as he's brought to the ground. And it's all for naught.
Roberts is a play. I mean, Roberts and Hall are everywhere for Cleveland. And, of course, Spellman has been everywhere for El Camino Real. Jake, a spirited game on homecoming.
And entertaining. Two evenly matched teams.
17-2. Don't see that score very often.
No.
Down to the final half minute of the third quarter. 2nd and 12 over the middle. Spellman has it. Spellman running hard. Spellman has a first down and still goes out across the 40-yard line and is spilled.
Well, that's an impressive set of yards after the catch. Spellman just turning on the Jets and making things happen on what looks like it'll be the last play of the third quarter.
That's the end of the quarter. 17-2 is the math.
Well, 12 minutes left. I'm excited to see the stretch run here.
Well, El Camino is in good shape. I mean, they just walked a tightrope and walked it and got away with it. They were right on that cliff, and somehow they were able to walk that tightrope and slow down Cleveland and get the football back. Ryan Feinberg's had a nice evening.
Yeah, Feinberg has been steady in the pocket, and here he gets it to Ermita for the first touchdown of the game, and then watch him zip one here right to the goal line, and that's Spellman makes a nice grab. So then Feinberg out of the pocket. Look at him take a big hit for positive yards. That second touchdown there by Pfeffer. Luke Pfeffer with the grab for the score.
At the 41-yard line, it's a first down for ECR. We begin the fourth quarter. They set it up beautifully, but better defense. Looking one way and throwing back the other way to Spellman. Oh, it was Dover on that far side. It was 4, not 3. Cameron Dover. 2nd down and 4.
Well, ECR can play their game and have a big drive. Points aren't as important as just eating clock at this point for them.
Yeah, another score would put it out of sight, wouldn't it? But again, Jason Zabalik looking for his first win as the coach. He's building the program. He's building it from the grassroots. They really think the foundation is established. Maybe overscheduled a little bit in the non-league. But now that they're at league, they could be a force in the West Valley. Another quick throw to the outside, and the flag is out. Like to work that far sideline with the size of Dover. ECR is going to have to clean up their mistakes, though, with the penalties.
Illegal formation, too many men in the backfield. Offense, 5-yard penalty, repeat, 2nd down.
That's an area of concern. ECR's offense, too many penalties. And they know that, and they know they need to work on that. That's what happens when you have a young football team around a veteran quarterback.
Sure. And you know what? They'll figure it out as time goes on. But having the steadying presence of Feinberg back there, who knows what he's doing, who's played a lot of football, is useful.
2nd down and 9 after the infraction. Still a long way to go. Cleveland's not out of this game. And they're putting some heat on Feinberg, but he unloads it down the sideline. That was a good job of getting that ball out quickly.
That was Shelkowski there with his first grab of the game.
That was Ermita. It was Ermita.
Ermita, but we've called his name quite a bit, and Ermita seems to know what to do with the ball once he gets it.
That's the perfect play design. Circled out of the backfield on the wheel route. It was wide open. And look how quickly Feinberg gets the ball out.
Yeah, you think you got him, and then you don't. And perfect touch there to Ermita. Sorry for calling him Shelkowski, and Armida with the first down.
That might have been the best play of the night by Feinberg. I mean, you have Cleveland's defenders coming in on him in his face, and he was able to, in the face of that adversity,
some
rushing.
quarterbacks just know when the freight train's coming, and he felt it there, and we can see him feeling it a lot.
Back to the air to Spellman, who has a lot of real estate in front of him. It closes in a hurry, and he's thrown down again by Roberts, who's a football player. Stephen Roberts is a tough, tough guy.
Yeah, in real time, that almost looked like a horse collar or a face mask. Maybe Spellman was campaigning for that flag.
It's cooled off here in Woodland Hills. It's going to be in the 50s by the end of the evening, and I would imagine we're probably in the upper 50s, low 60s right about now. It has cooled off. You're not bothered by this at all.
I have a lot of natural insulation.
That helps. I don't.
Well,
I did at one point.
It's nice to be outside and enjoying the evening and watching high school football.
Yeah, the fresh air is great, isn't it? Second down and 6 for Elko. And Ryan Feinberg, who wants to air it out again if he can. He's pressured and he has no chance. Cleveland's done a nice job of getting to number 7.
Well, he consistently has had very little time to throw, but his instincts, his cool under pressure, has helped him get the ball out of his hand and make positive plays, even with the pressure. There's this question of hanging on for dear life.
3rd and 13 for El Camino. No hurry, the clock is their ally. 9:15 to play. Up by 15, 17-2. Maybe he'll direct this one again to Peffer, who's 6'3" and has caught a touchdown tonight. Again, he's grown 7 inches in the last year. Feinberg rolling to his left. He needs 13 yards. He's not going to get 13, but got a chunk of it. Let's see if they go for it here on 4th down. They're in that area where they may do that because it's too far for a field goal, not an area where you normally punt it. So one would imagine they might go for it here on 4th.
Yeah, you can't rule that out. I mean, possession and milking the clock is important here, and you're right. It seems about to be the least bad option. The offense is staying on the field as Feinberg comes over to talk it out.
That's 4th down and 7. Feinberg's got the play design. He's coming out there. Bueno has checked back in, and Rafa Cortez, that freshman who's caught a ball tonight, goes out. Big 4th down play. Cleveland needs desperately to get the stop. First down here, and an ensuing score might wrap up the ball game for El Camino Real. Feinberg, the quick throw for Peffer is no good. Excellent coverage on the back end.
Well, Peffer turned there looking for a shorter pass, and Feinberg hung up a rainbow.
Yeah, so the Cavaliers get the defensive stop that they so dearly needed. Peffer will stay out there and play defense. The secondary. Well, for Cleveland, there's 8:45 left. You're down 15. Your defense has given you a chance by getting the ball back. They need to score on this possession.
Well, the Cavaliers have not been without their chances, and they are still in this game, but things have to happen pretty quickly.
It's been a much different game than we expected. It's been a defensive slugfest. Feinberg has thrown 2 touchdowns. That's the difference in the ball game. Lopez to the air. For Roberts. Peffer knocked it away and nearly had the interception.
Oh, man, Peffer took a big hit there as he was trying to catch the ball. He's a little woozy as he's coming to.
Is he long and lean or what?
Yeah. He took a big stick when he caught that touchdown down by the goal line, and this is the second time he may have knocked helmets with a guy in this game.
We mentioned his family's right in front of us. We might want to talk about feeding their young son.
Well, as the father of a high school athlete, I can say that they will eat anywhere, anytime, and of any quantity.
Another penalty against El Camino has given Cleveland a first down. These penalties are hurting El Camino Real. They've hurt both sides, but the young student section, they don't care about penalties. They're just having a festive time on homecoming. Cleveland in business. They go back to the ground. Powell running hard. So while El Camino was thinking pass, the Cavaliers able to cross him up with the run. That's a good-looking running back in Donovan Powell, and he is a young, talented young man, just a sophomore.
A lot of football left. Still has a chance to be a difference maker in this game, too, and on this drive.
They had a great chance the last time, and they had the penalty and came out of there with no points. Be a real different game now at this stage had that penalty not occurred and they had that score. But they don't. They have to overcome 2 touchdowns. Again, it's Powell on a delayed handoff. Running hard. He has a first down. Peffer with the tackle.
Yeah, because Peffer's everywhere. Speaking of guys with a nose for the ball.
Yeah, Peffer and Spellman have been the 2 guys for El Camino Real. On the other side, Corey Hall and Stephen Roberts have been all over the field for Cleveland.
But not before Cleveland picked up a first down.
No, they're on the march, aided and abetted by that penalty. A score here makes it mighty interesting. Cleveland with momentum. El Camino with the lead. West Valley League opener in Woodland Hills. Lopez to the air for Roberts. Did he come up with it? He did. Touchdown.
Well, there's laundry on the field.
See if it stands. They may have hit the quarterback late on a great throw by Lopez to Roberts. The touchdown stands. It was roughing the passer. And Cleveland on the big play is back in the hunt.
Partner, we got a ball game again. Cleveland's got to punch in this extra point. Make things just a little bit more interesting.
What a great throw by Lopez. We've been touting him all night, and that was a gorgeous delivery to Roberts. And with these wide receivers, now there's plenty of time. There's over 7 minutes left, and Cleveland has jumped right back in the game, scoring that quickly.
Absolutely imperative they make this extra point to make it a one-score game.
Sebastian Rodriguez is on for the point after. And it is no good.
Well, that's a problem for Cleveland. Now they need 2 scores, just as they did before.
Let's go back to the Roberts catch.
All right, beautiful rainbow downfield towards the goal line. Roberts grabs it and waltzes into the end zone. It took a bit for us to find out whether it was a touchdown because the referee wasn't down there to signal so.
But he also was juggling it a little bit. But he got behind Sikowski and scored.
He's got it. 17-8, still an oddly scored game.
But Cleveland's got the momentum. They're putting great pressure on Feinberg. But you're right about that extra point. That could be a real killer.
Well, between the missed field goal and the missed extra point, they've left 4 points on the field.
See, if Cleveland has designs on an onside kick, El Camino's had success with the kickoffs on 2 occasions this evening. 17-8. Remember, there was the late hit on the quarterback, so the field position will be changed. And now you're thinking onside kick. They're kicking from the El Camino 45.
7 minutes left, needing 2 scores. This is an absolutely positively perfect time.
It's green lit right now.
You have to.
This is a green light special to try the onside kick because you can't get really killed field position-wise.
7 minutes left. You may not get the ball back twice.
Well, Rodriguez has it teed up at the El Camino Real 45-yard line. See how well they execute the kick. I'd be surprised if he kicks it deep. seen a number of high school coaches kick it deep, and I'm always puzzled by that. But Peter Gunny on that far sideline is a smart guy. And there it is, the short kick, but that takes a convenient hop. Jefferson, and he's hit hard. Transfer from Birmingham is number 21. Well, again, they didn't try the conventional onside kick.
No. Yeah, more of a squib with a high bounce.
I don't understand that. I'm being honest with you.
Well, we're also projecting, professional-like precision onto 15, 16, 17-year-old boys.
Another penalty against El Camino, and they are starting to really damage themselves. And they're going to start in a real hole here. Now, my point, it's not even about the kids. I mean, if you don't recover, you only leave El Camino at the 35. The risk is not as great, and then you have the chance for the reward of capturing the onside kick.
Well, that was their best effort at an onside kick. The football bounce is funny.
Well, the penalty again backs up ECR. 7-11 left in the game. We're rolling the dice in Woodland Hills on homecoming. 17-8. You're right. That is such an odd score. It is and it isn't. It's odd the way we got there as Spellman goes into the line of scrimmage. A lot of times you'll see 17-8 with 2 touchdowns and a field goal, and a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Keep in mind, Cleveland's 8 is a touchdown and a safety.
Not just a safety, but an intentional safety.
Officials timeout for the moment.
And an intentional safety in the third quarter when you never see an intentional safety.
Ryan Feinberg trying to get his team into the winner's circle, and it hadn't been easy. And give credit to Cleveland. And again, Craig Becker's talking to these teams. Obviously, there's some words going on. It's gotten emotional. It's a league game. It's the opening conference game. And, he's laying down the law. Bring the captains over and say, you guys cool it. Play football.
Well,
Second down and 8.
That's what you do when play gets a little chippy. Instead of throwing flags all over the place, you bring their leaders aside and say, hey, guys, get it together.
Yeah, I like that, don't you?
Yeah. That's good refereeing.
Well, Feinberg and this offense needs to get a first down. The clock's their friend. The momentum isn't. They run it. Not a whole lot there. Spellman is spilled. Cleveland again is outplaying El Camino in this fourth quarter. A flag is out again. Too many penalties in the second half. Both teams have been hurt by the flag.
Looked like another unsportsmanlike call on Cleveland.
Dead ball, sportsmanlike conduct, defense, number 33. 15-yard penalty, first down.
That's Matt Swanson, a high-energy guy. Goes 100 miles an hour all the time. This time he went too far. As we take a look at Donovan doing his thing, that's when he was dislodged from the football. Powell lost it.
Well, Spellman forced that, and then here's Spellman on offense, picking up big yards, and then the clever play, putting the ball in his outside hand so he wouldn't fumble.
Yeah, Spellman's been big tonight. And here he goes, and this time they have him. But that infraction giving El Camino Real another opportunity. Good play there by Cole Petra. Versatile defensive performer, middle linebacker, knocked down Spellman.
Well, at this point where Cleveland needs 2 scores and time is precious, the clock ticks. We're inside of 6 minutes. And that penalty not only handed El Camino some yardage, but also about 2 to 3 more minutes of game clock.
Yeah, it really is a killer if you're Cleveland. Both teams have hurt themselves with those penalties, so I guess it balances out. Second down and a dozen. DJ Harrison is a receiver. He's just a junior. Feinberg retreating, setting up the screen to Spellman. Spellman cannot get loose. Tried to wiggle away from Hall, but he couldn't do that. Corey Hall, he's I was going to say a one-man wrecking crew, but with Roberts out there, there's a 2-man crew that's doing a lot of damage.
Well, and Hall also knew that if Spellman got free, he was going to be picking up some yards. So you hang on for dear life and just hope that some other white shirts show up to bring him to the ground.
Timeout taken. This one by Cleveland. 5:10 left. We're looking at third down and long for Elko. Everybody huddled in that offense around Jason Zabalik. See what he dials up. Trying to get his first win as the head coach here. And with Chatsworth coming in next week, and the game we'll have for LA36, that's a winnable game. And they know that. And then they go to Taft after that, and they'll be favored at Taft. So they could be looking at some success here. That's when your program turns around with a young football team.
So 2 weeks from now, Feinberg's mom, Kim, is an administrator at Taft. So you wonder what's going to be going on in 2 weeks.
She'll be rooting for her son. She may be working at Taft, but you know how thick that blood is.
Taking a lot of grief Monday through Thursday.
No. She's rooting for her son.
Sure.
And her other son, again, Jordan, is a fine football player at Cal Lutheran. Great family. And a terrific leader in Ryan Feinberg. Probably is going to play football out of state, isn't it?
Yeah, he's been getting some nibbles. Hastings, Nebraska has been knocking on his door. I started my broadcasting career in Nebraska. I can tell you it's cold and flat.
And Feinberg trying to warm up right now. He's got a man. It's Spellman who's loose. Troy Spellman to the 22-yard line.
Well, that's a backbreaker for Cleveland, and that's almost game, set, match for El Camino as Feinberg finds his man, moves the chains, and the clock keeps rolling.
It's funny when you talk to Coach Zabalik, he talks about Spellman in glowing terms, and again, it's the wheel route, and Feinberg, the ability to get outside of containment.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like he has much zip on the ball, but he always seems to put it in the right place. And when he needs zip, you know it's there. We saw a few darts earlier in the evening.
He has matured in his senior year. He won some playoff games as a sophomore, coming in relief and bailing out the then conquistadors in the tournament. Now as a senior, wanting to get his team back into playoffs. That could happen. Spellman looking for running room, and there's not a whole lot there, is there? Once again, that man, Christopher Alcantar, bottled up the play.
Well, now that El Camino has flipped the field, they're forcing Cleveland to take their timeouts.
Yeah, we're down to 4:09 left.
Second time out of the half, 4:12, Tony.
Oh, he just told us how much seconds to put on the clock. We'll add 3 more.
Yeah, come on, Tony.
I don't know what Tony was thinking. Don't you love it when the mic stays on and they don't know it? We get extra information. I love that.
Yeah. It happens sometimes. It's broadcasting. We do this without a net. That's why we love it. That's the challenge, the pressure, the adrenaline, but big part of why we got into this crazy racket, huh?
Yeah, it's fun. There's no question about it. It's been a fun game tonight with some ups and downs, some crazy calls, penalties against both teams, kicks that were recovered by El Camino, which really I think is the difference in the game right now. Giving them field position and gave them an opportunity to score on shorter fields. And Feinberg's come up big. We talk so much about Spellman, but Feinberg's made plays. He's thrown a couple touchdowns, but he's made some miraculous throws with, bodies in his face.
And as we've noticed, he's bought himself extra time by just skipping out of the pocket.
Spellman with a good run. Troy Spellman is hurled out of bounds, and he's doing yeoman work for the Royals.
The only thing about that for El Camino is that they went out of bounds.
But he got the first down in a fresh set of downs for Elko. And it's looking very much with 4 minutes to go and Cleveland with just 1 timeout left. It's looking great for ECR.
All right, so the clock stoppage was with the first down, and we are now under 4 minutes.
Well, if you're Cleveland, you got to try to strip the football away. You got to force a turnover.
And that's the hardest thing for a defense that's been on the field a lot of this game. But somebody does need to step up.
El Camino will take as much time before they snap it as they can. Spellman again. Gone. Touchdown. Breaking through. Spellman has scored. And El Camino Real has put an accent point on this one. And has a 23-8 lead, and they know they have this one in the refrigerator. And for Troy Spellman, who goes out there and holds now, he does everything else. Surprised he doesn't kick it as Chavez Borelli comes on. El Camino Real is going to get their first victory of the season, and it comes at the right time, the conference opener.
Yeah, we said at the top of the show, if the silly season is over, you now are playing for what matters, which is league wins and playoff positioning, or simply just getting in the playoffs.
Sam Tovin came onto the field a little bit late, but he's set to get the kick away, and it's drilled. And another point is added, 24-8. Let's go back to the Spellman touchdown. He's in a crowd, and suddenly he appears.
So Spellman doing everything on this night, just about untouched, across the goal line and in. Puts a nice cherry on top of this Sunday as we...
No, it's a cherry on top of this Friday.
And it's cherry on top of a dessert, but you got me.
Yeah.
And El Camino can celebrate a win that they really had to tough out.
Good Cleveland football team. They're going to fall to 2-2, 0-1 in the league. They just ran into a team that was prepared. And as Jason Zabalik said before the game, we're a powder keg waiting to explode.
Well, and this is the kind of win that can galvanize a season, especially coming at the beginning of league season. Finding your legs and also playing teams that you should be playing. Teams in your neighborhood, teams in your league, and teams that are your caliber.
On the flip side, by playing those tough teams, it got them ready for the West Valley League.
Yeah. And everything's better in football when you win.
And Birmingham did the same thing. They lost their first 5 games playing powerhouse teams. Birmingham's one of the favorites in the entire section. Last week they played the first city team, Westchester, and they won easily. So it's a lot different when you come back to the level of competition that you should be in. And Chavez Borelli, who's been outstanding tonight, one of those short kicks. We have grown accustomed to those, and that one goes out of bounds. 3 minutes and change is left, and the lead is 16.
So you could say it still is a 2-score game, but
you're going to try to sell me on that?
It's really a tall order to talk about Cleveland scoring 2 8-point touchdowns when they've been having trouble moving the ball most of the evening.
The only thing that's in their favor, they just hit for the big play to Roberts, and they do have big-time playmakers on the outside in Roberts and Hall. And they're going to need more long-distance plays to have any look at the ball game. Yeah, and we'll have Chatsworth next week against El Camino on LA36. And we'll have that Taft game in 2 weeks as well. Lopez back to the air. The out is no good. 2nd down and 10. Looking to throw it to Toribe.
Well, an impressive team effort so far by ECR.
Their offense has had moments, but it's been start and stop, and they've gotten a couple touchdowns from Feinberg and the great run from Spellman really put a ribbon on it. But this defense, which had struggled so much, again, against great competition, get some transfers in, some guys are finally eligible, some guys that are healthy, and it's their defense I think that they'll be excited about going forward. They knew they had the offense. 2nd down and 10. And they'll go on the ground with it. And Powell twisting and turning. He'll get a few, but it's going to bring up 3rd and long. And that'll keep the clock going, which is the best friend of El Camino Real. And as you see, it's inside of 3 minutes. I want to thank our entire LA36 crew for some nice pictures tonight in the West San Fernando Valley. They're in a good mood because they know on the way home there'll be no traffic. When you come here to set up for a Friday night game, you know what you're up against on the highways in Southern California.
You've got to get here at noon to beat the traffic.
It's good. That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah, if you got all day.
2nd down, turns over to 3rd down, and it's 3rd down and 6.
We are on the western edge of LAUSD.
Lopez again, throwing the deep ball. It's too far. Roberts was the young man that was targeted in coverage from Dorian Jefferson.
Well, one play. Cleveland converts. We still have a game. If not, I think we have reached victory formation.
Pretty close. They have 1 timeout remaining by our count. Hey, there we are. They're all bundled up. I think that's Miss Torrance on the camera there. I think it is. We have 2 women on our crew shooting the game tonight. I think that's great. Good LA36 crew and good people. Middle screen. Cerrito with a good gain, moves the chains. 1st down, but again, the clock, the best friend of El Camino Real. Cleveland needs to get some giddy up in their step. Sense of urgency is needed.
The clock stopped at 1:59, and now it's running again.
Yeah, but they got to get out of the huddle quicker. They need 2 scores here.
I tell you, when you're beat from playing a full game, it's hard to have that sense of urgency.
Minute 45 left. That's it. Lopez again airing it out deep for Hall. He's got it. Touchdown, Corey Hall. What a throw by Lopez. I mean, that one was right on the money to Hall.
Wow, that was almost a replay of what we saw earlier.
With Roberts.
And of Hall gaining the inside position and just waltzing into the end zone.
And we talked about it, right? Roberts and Hall had 2 huge targets on the outside. Great ability. They have to go for 2 here to make it a 1-score game. Well, Nano has had some huge moments in the second half. 2 touchdown throws. Can he get the 2-point conversion here? Again, he targets to the outside, and it's incomplete. Wanted to get it to Hall. That's no surprise. And it's a 10-point game, so even though it's 24-14, it's going to make it almost impossible for Cleveland.
Yeah, Cleveland needed to convert that to have any chance. Entertaining game, and Cleveland just did not go away.
Well, the bus ride back to Reseda, which is a short ride, will not be a happy one for the Cavaliers. But I was impressed with their resiliency in the second half. A penalty from the sideline really derailed them when you look back at this. They had a chance to go in and really close the deficit down, and a penalty backed them up, and then they couldn't overcome that penalty when they were inside the El Camino Real 5-yard line.
Yeah, looking back, that does seem to be the game-changing play. Cleveland was knocking on the door and about to make it, it was 17-2, so they could have made it 17-8, 17-9, 17-10.
And there was plenty of time when that occurred. That was in the third quarter, late third quarter.
Exactly.
So we're going to have your onside kick here. But again, there's only a minute 35 left, and they need 2 scores. I mean, we've had some crazy finishes in high school football in recent years with teams coming from this far back with this much time left and winning games. It's happened, so I guess you never really know. We've seen a game this year where I believe the team was down 17 with 2.5 minutes to go, and they came back and won.
You know what? Until Feinberg is in victory formation, I'm not calling this done.
And again, the Cleveland team plays hard. They're well coached. They got two great receivers on the outside. Their quarterback is very capable. He's shown in the second half what he's made out of. So they've come in here and on homecoming have played to the bitter end, and Cleveland is probably going to fall short, but not for effort. Devin Howard is back deep, and other than Devin, who's got to feel lonesome right now, all his friends, all the other 10, are within 20 yards of the kicker.
Looks like Sebastian Rodriguez is going to kick this one.
He's kicked them all tonight. This one is covered by that freshman, Rafa Cortez.
Rodriguez was hoping to get that high bounce on that last spin of the ball. And I think ECR can finally exhale.
Well, they expected to win this game. They came in feeling like, the prelims were over. They played, big boy football against some real powerhouses. And, they want to try to be a contender in the West Valley League. And Jason Zabon's going to get a victory tonight. Hard earned, hard fought. Still some things to clean up. But it just magnifies the games going forward because they're going to go to 1-0 in league against a good Cleveland football team. And they will run the ball with Howard. Flag comes out behind the play in the holding zone.
Well, it also means the game just won't go away.
So that'll back up the offense, but they really don't care now with $1:25 remaining. Kind of surprised they didn't just kneel down, have Cleveland use its last time out, and then kneel down a couple times, and that would have ended it.
Yeah, I wonder if they want to give some guys a chance at some carries.
Well, they gave Derek Howard an opportunity. He's been playing defense all night. Number one is in that offensive lineup, and he's probably saying, "Coach, I can carry it. I'm good at that. I'm an outstanding running back. Give me an opportunity." And Derek is a senior. His brother's a junior, so he wants to bask under the lights on homecoming. Howard again sneaking through. And a good effort. Cleveland burns its final timeout.
All right. Well, Cleveland fighting to the bitter end. Feinberg coming over to get his instructions. We thought it would be kneel down football, but they've been running plays.
Never easy to win, is it? I mean, especially when you get to league, these teams know each other well.
And,
but, and Cleveland's good. And for El Camino Real, this is a big step forward. The other thing is, Cleveland handled them pretty good in the spring league, and it's retribution for El Camino to start the league and get a win over Cleveland, which handled them not all that long ago.
Doing a little spot math here, which wasn't my strong suit in school. If they don't get the first down here, they're going to have to kick this away and give it back to Cleveland for one more possession.
They're going to kneel down, however. Sure looks like it anyway. That's what Feinberg does, and Cleveland can't stop the clock anymore.
So when they blow the play clock,
they're jumping for joy on the sideline at El Camino. This is a big moment for them to get the W. breaks their losing streak. Lost their first 5. They lost all 4 in the spring league. But again, it's a building process. And Zabalik's turning the program around. And they have to feel mighty good about what has happened here tonight. Flag comes out for the delay of game with 23 seconds left.
Well, ECR played their cards about as well as they could to eat as much clock as possible there.
El Camino might have got a timeout in, so they'll pick up the flag. Still 23 seconds left. They got the game. They know that. Now you just want to make sure you stay healthy in the final seconds with the rest of the season in front of you. This is a big game, and it means a lot to these kids to break through, doesn't it?
For the kids, for the program, for Coach Zabalik, for a lot of reasons. And again, you're not 1-5, you're 1-0.
Yeah, that's the key point, Jake, and I think that's well said. You see Feinberg here with his helmet off. You know, it's got to be tough. You're a senior quarterback. You're going through this grueling schedule. You're having some success personally, but the guys around you are suffering. And now you come back into league play. You get a fresh start against a good Cleveland team, and you get the W. They were supposed to play Granada Hills. COVID intervened, and so this became the league opener, and it's the big game for them, and they've come through. We'll see if they'll be able to continue it next week on air against Chatsworth. They will punt it away. It hit one of the El Camino players. So it should be dead where it hit the El Camino player with 13 seconds left. Spellman picked it up. He was thinking about a touchdown the other way, but it's a dead ball when it hits the ECR player.
Because, of course, Spellman.
You like that guy, don't you?
What's
not to like?
Hey, he's been everywhere. And he wants to be everywhere. He wants to be near the ball. He wants to help his team on offense and defense, and there aren't too many guys like that.
Well, you know what? They put another second up on the clock. Say it's 14 seconds remaining. And it does give us an opportunity to see Nano unleash another pass to either Hall or Roberts, and you know it's going to be a deep bomb. So sit back, relax, and watch long distance on this play as El Camino celebrates on the sideline.
They do it fast enough, we could have another onside kick.
There's the deep one again for Hall. Deflected away as he was bracketed by both Peffer and Howard. Devin Howard.
With 8.8 seconds left. Well, it's exciting to see this kind of, backyard football. It's like go deep and I'll hook it up there too.
Yeah. No secret to what they're going to try to do here, but they've accomplished it twice.
Yeah.
He's got 2 bombs for touchdowns on deep post patterns to both Roberts and Hall.
And what you got to lose, huh?
It would look good in the box score if they scored a touchdown and made it 24-21. It looked like a very tight finish. 2nd down and 10. Peffer and Howard are 30 yards behind the play in the secondary, knowing that this is going to be aired out. The pump fake and the deep throw, too far. That time wanted Roberts. Three seconds. We're going to get it one more time, Jake.
I'll take it. Bonus football, huh?
Yeah, bonus football. Well, it's homecoming. It's great to win on homecoming. And a big night here in Woodland Hills for a team that's been down for a year and a half. Remember, they went to the finals a couple years ago, so it hadn't been all that long ago that they tasted success, but a year and a half, 2 years, you go through COVID, been tough, and then come back and try to turn the program around after they lost a lot of players off that outstanding team that went to the finals. But now, starting to come back. Should have some success here in the final stretches of the 2021 season. Lopez, one more time. Let's see what Nano can do.
He's been a gunslinger so far. Most of this night, he's just been airing it out, and he gets one more chance.
is going to throw inside to Roberts. Sikowski has him, and the game is over. 24-14 is the final number for El Camino Real. They're on their feet at El Camino Field, and the students celebrate. Well, that was fun. 24-14. El Camino Real gets the win in the West Valley. I'm Randy Rosenblum along with Jake Downey. One more time, and Ryan Feinberg throws 2 touchdown passes. He also had the final run by Spellman at the end of the game to really secure the contest. On the other side, 2 touchdown throws as well for Lopez, and they were bombs to Hall and Roberts. Jake, this was a fun game, hard-fought league outing.
You know, a lot of aerial action here. We had 2 quarterbacks who definitely had different styles. Spellman here down near the goal line, switching the ball out of his inside hand to his outside hand, and then giving Feinberg a chance to throw a dart here to Pepper. And ECR has a 2-touchdown lead. So then you see the snap go over the punter's head, and a missed field goal here by Cleveland after they were backed up by the penalty against their coach. But Lopez bombs away, and they score here, and then they do it again. Almost 2 identical touchdowns by Cleveland.
That was Roberts. The other one, the next one, was to Hall. But here's the Spellman run, really put the capper on it for El Camino Real.
Yeah, Spellman was everywhere, and this touchdown really put it out of reach. And what a nice scene on homecoming to see a lot of players celebrating and the cheerleaders kicking up some dust as well.
Jake, it was fun.
I'll do this with you anytime, partner. Good to be back in the saddle with you.
Great to have you aboard. For Jake Downey, I'm Randy Rosenblum for our entire LA36 crew. And again, we'll talk to you next week when Chatsworth comes to Woodland Hills. ECR wins the West Valley League opener on homecoming. Feinberg with 2 touchdown throws, 24-14. We'll talk to you next week from this same location on LA36. Take care, everybody.